Love, peace, prosperity, wholeness, oneness to the whole world, to everybody who is tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting and showing love. I appreciate that very much. I just came on here today to talk about attraction and the law of attraction, which also falls under the law of vibration, which is the actual law of the law of attraction. It's important for us to send out good messages, as I do at the beginning of these videos, and praises to the people and the things that we love to do, because it will return to us, similar to the way the ocean works. What goes out comes back in. The tide goes out, the tide comes in. The tide goes out, the tide comes in. And we must understand that everything simulates everything else. So we need to be like the ocean and understand that what we put out in this world is gonna come back for us. We are going to attract what we put out. So we need to put out positive vibrations. We need to say positive things, not only outside, but also inside. And that is very important, because that's where everything starts from. Everything starts from within. When you say good affirmations to yourself, you end up saying that out loud. When you speak to people, you are just projecting what you are saying to yourself and how you treat yourself. So we need to treat ourselves very kindly and know that we are all divine creatures, divine beings that are here with a purpose. Today, yesterday, I was in the centro. I'm in Mexico right now. I'm in the centro. There's some vendors. They're selling clothes. They're selling jewelry, joyas, and I stumbled across this one vendor. His name was Hector. Much love. Thank you, Hector, for everything. Truly blessing to my life. Mind you, let me say, everybody that I've came into contact with out here in Mexico has been extraordinarily nice, extraordinarily helpful, and extraordinarily understanding. And it's been a beautiful experience. I haven't even been here for a whole week, semana, and it's been great. It's been great. Very helpful individuals. So long story short, I see this necklace. I see this necklace in particular right here. I don't know if you can see it. So I see this necklace. Let me see if I can get the other necklaces out of the way. Boom. I see this collar. I see this necklace, and I just see his table. I start talking with him. He asks me if I exercise. I say, yeah, I do calisthenics every day. I end up looking at his piece. He just said that. Yeah, I do calisthenics. He's like, that's cool, that's good. I end up looking at his pieces. I end up getting this piece right here, which is a sponge fossil. These fossils are very, very, very ancient fossils that come from the sea. And I got another piece from him, which is a seed that also comes from the ocean. It's called the eye of the deer. So long story short, I get the pieces. He says, yo, tomorrow we're doing a drum circle where we dance. He said, I don't invite people usually, but I want to invite you. I want to offer the invite. I accepted. He says, 6 horas in la parque. Okay, 6 o'clock in the park, let's do it. Today I get to the park. You have to ask for permission to enter the circle. I asked for permission. They let me into the circle. We danced for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think it was more like an hour and a half, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a lot. It was a lot of movement, everybody was sweating, everybody was getting into it. There was even little kids in the circle. It was a very wholesome, very sacred moment. It was, we were doing an Aztec dance, Bailar de Aztec. And all I'm gonna say is that God was really there with us. God was really there with us. There's no other way to put it. God made that happen. God was there with us. And we not only blessed each other, we blessed the whole park with the intense dancing that we did. And on top of blessing each other and blessing the park, we were blessing God, which is very, very important. And which brings me to what this video is about the law of attraction. I've been reading this book recently, The Science of Self-Realization, which talks about Hare Krishna. Rest in peace to Chelsea Reject, a very, very good, very amazingly talented friend of mine that passed away this February. And the day she passed away, my boy, he called me and he said, yo, I was telling you to come to the Krishna temple. You want to come? And with that devastating news, everything just seemed to line up. So I went over there. Mind you, I'm not really religious. I wasn't raised in any specific church or anything like that. I went, and you know, when you're not raised religious, the word God can be a little bit heavy, and a lot of people use the term but don't really. They use the term but they don't actually listen to the instructions of God, and that can deter people away from actually believing in God. But let me tell you, I've been chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which basically means blessings to the Godhead, blessings to God, blessings to the energy of God. Hare Krishna, blessings to God, blessings to the Godhead. Hare Rama, blessings to the energy of God. So you just repeat that chant over and over again. You sing it. And long story short, short story long, when you chant that, you are connecting with God. Krishna, Christ, Kres, it's all the same. All these religions point to the same person. So long story short, I've been saying Hare Krishna. I get invited by this jeweler to a drum circle, and we end up pretty much dancing for God for an hour and a half straight, bare feet on the concrete with these amazing souls that I was with, these amazing souls. It felt like we were dancing in front of the pyramids 4,000 years ago. It was a very, very special moment. And just looking back on how far I've came, even last time I came out here 3 years ago, I was not attracting these types of people. I was not attracting this type of energy. And it was because I wasn't putting this out, you know? I wasn't that close to God. I wasn't following the instructions of God. Thus, I was out here chain smoking cigarettes and doing all types of other shit. You know, I was on my way, but I would still have negative thoughts running in my head. And like I said earlier, when you have negative thoughts running in your head, you tend to project, you know? You tend to project everything that you think in your mind about yourself. That's how you treat other people. And I wasn't treating people horribly, but I can tell you right now for certain that I treat myself so much better than before. And what I'm attracting is proof that the law of attraction, the law of vibration is a real thing. I remember before I'd walk around, I was just at Union Square before I left, and somebody I met at the temple, I ran into him. He was on his bike. He was like, yo, I'll just go around. It was one of the first nice days in New York. He said, I just go around and I tell everybody, he doesn't even say it that loud sometimes he just says it in his head. God bless you, bless your soul. Hare Krishna, whatever it is, he goes, every person he sees, looks him in the eyes and says that. And I took that into my own way. You know, I see everybody that I see, and I bless them. I don't even need to say the words, I just think it and I bless them. I'm not walking down the street looking at people sideways. What you looking at? Why you looking at me? Why you looking like, you know, just these negative thoughts about people around, you know? And sometimes it's hard to deter away. It's hard to stay away from negative energy when somebody comes walking up the street and they looking at you and they mean mugging you, or you could feel like they giving you off negative energy. You can't fall into that and give them negative energy back. You need to say, God bless you, put a smile on your face. If they don't like it, so be it. At least you tried and you're holding your vibration too. So like I said, we need to up our vibration. We need to up our vibration to the Most High so that we can receive the blessings that we were meant to receive in this life. If we're giving out negative energy and mean mugging people and thinking in our head, oh, I'll beat this person up, or I don't give a fuck about nobody, mind my language, that's what's gonna come back to us. You understand? So we need to make sure that we understand what's going on. And a lot of times people that have that mentality are confused why they're getting that energy back. That's the energy that you're putting out. And it's just facts. That is the way this universe was sculpted. That's the way this universe was engineered. And we need to understand that so we can all improve and become the best versions of ourselves. Once you understand these simple facts, you will understand how you can raise your vibration. God created this earth. God created everything. So when we praise God, we're praising everything around us. And when you show him love, he'll show him, the universe, when you show it love, it shows you love back. When you ask it for something, it'll bring you it back. But you have to follow the instructions that were given to you, you know? And a lot of people aren't following the instructions, and this is why they're getting these negative vibrations coming back, these lower vibrations coming back, because you're sitting in a low vibration. And it's not only about the things you say, but it's the things you do, the actions, what you eat. All of that all of that as a whole is what you attract. So I really just wanted to come on here and explain my theory on the law. It's not even my theory, it is the theory of the law of vibration and how I interpret it to work. But this is a fact that it is a law of nature, and if we can understand these laws, there's multiple laws. This isn't the only law of nature. If we can understand these laws, we can understand how to operate this body. God, G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer. That is you, and you have the choice to be the operator of this body. So you can either operate it, or you can let these other outside sources and energies operate the body for yourself, but it's inevitably up to you. All I can say is that through my journey with Hare Krishna, through my journey at the temple, through my journey in Mexico, it has showed me that God Krishna is good. And if you show love to Krishna, it shows you love back, and you attract that energy. You know, even today after we danced, I believe his name's Marco. He's Hector. Hector is the guy that made the jewelry, the joyas, and invited me. Marcos has been holding these dance circles for 20 years, I believe now, and he drove me home after, and he's talking to me. We all went and we got food, and then after that, he drove me home, and he's talking about how he found God. And you know, I stopped drinking 4 years ago. I stopped smoking 5-6 months ago coming up, and he's done the same, but he did it 20 years ago. And I could go into his whole story, but long story short, short story long, is at the end of the ride, we started talking about how God is everything. God is the sea, the air, the land, it's in the people. God is everywhere, and we need to all show our love for God, and we need to show our love for God, and we need to serve him the best that we can, you know? And we need to show love to everybody else that's around, gratitude. We need to praise everybody so that we can all get to a higher frequency. And that's how to get to a higher frequency. You show love to the people around you, you show love to God, whatever the name that you want to call God, the universe, God, Krishna, Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Cristo, whatever the name is, you show that entity love. You show the being that has made everything love, and you will receive love back. You will receive whatever you wish for. On that note, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sending love, light, healing, amor, luz y sanación to everybody viewing. Thank you guys all for viewing this video. I hope y'all all took something away. I hope everybody learned something. And I cannot wait to see your progress, my progress, and the progress of this world as a whole as we become more enlightened and raise our vibration, because we are all one and we all need each other. Love, Zudakai. Peace.